This is where the first seeds of society are planted. When the self realizes, I'm not just in the environment, I am part of the environment for others. That awareness is the beginning of ethics, cooperation, collective consciousness. But it begins with recognizing the sacred interplay between self and setting. The environment is not something you escape or master. It is something you must see clearly, because only when you understand the world you inherit can you decide what kind of world you will leave behind. Time. Time is a part of your environment even if you can't see it, especially because you can't see it. You are born into a moment, one you did not choose, and that moment becomes the lens through which the rest of reality is shaped. When we talk about time, we're not just talking about clocks and calendars. We're talking about the era in which you exist, the historical, technological, moral, and social context that frames how you understand the world and how the world understands you. If I took your exact DNA, your same family, your same body, and dropped you in the year 1300 instead of the year 2000, you would be a different person. Not because you chose to be, but because the environment chose for you. Time is not just something you live in. It is something that shapes what you can imagine, what you can access, and what you believe is possible. And that means that time shapes who you become. We often talk about the self as the central point of the universe, but time humbles that truth. Time shows you that even though everything flows through your eyes and is shaped by your story, you are also a small part of a bigger one. You are the past, arriving in the present, on its way to becoming the future. You are not just shaped by history. You will become someone else's history. Time is the only environment you are born into and responsible for. It's not just the backdrop, it's the bridge, and that bridge scares people. That's why many selves try to drag others back in time. If the future is uncertain, then the past feels safe. It is set. The winners have already won. The hierarchies are established. So when some people scream, "Make America great again," what they're really saying is, take me back to a time where people who look like me were already on top. They don't want to walk into the unknown. They want to recreate the known, because if the past rewarded their kind, they believe imitating the past will reward them too. But that is the fatal flaw. The past is not coming back. The past was not better. It was just familiar. And for those who benefited from the systems of the past, progress feels like loss. Equality feels like erosion. So they try to freeze time through policies, ideologies, and narratives that glorify eras where their kind rule, but the overman sees this for what it is. Fear. Regression is the death of evolution. Clinging to the past is not tradition, it's spiritual stagnation. That's why time must be understood not as a nostalgic story, but as a living force. One that pulls the self forward if you let it, or crushes the self in place if you don't. History matters, not because it flatters us, but because it tells us the truth about what shaped us. If you don't understand the time you were born into, you don't understand your environment. And if you don't understand your environment, you will mistake nostalgia for purpose and comfort for destiny.